In a Boston ballroom glittering with wealth, a billionaire's daughter laughed, then poured red wine down a black woman's blazer. "Now you look like you belong," she sneered, as the crowd roared with cruel amusement. Cameras flashed. The woman said nothing, just one calm glance, one quiet phone call. 90 seconds later, the laughter died. Every screen in the room blinked the same alert. $2.9 billion withdrawn. The woman they'd mocked wasn't there to network. She owned half their world. The ballroom of the Harrington Grand shimmered like a cathedral of wealth. Golden chandeliers, crystal glasses. A string quartet murmured somewhere near the stage. At the entrance, a black woman in a tailored gray blazer handed her invitation to the receptionist. Calm, quiet, carrying herself like someone who didn't need to prove anything. "Name?" asked the young man behind the tablet. "Dr. Maya Ellison," he typed. Paused. His polite smile tightened. "I'm sorry, ma'am, your name's not on the list." Before Maya could reply, a voice cut through the air, smooth, sharp. "Entitled." "Excuse me," said Vivian Langford, daughter of billionaire developer Charles Langford. "I think you've walked into the wrong event." Heads turned. The room began to hush. "This gala's for investors," Vivian continued, her smile razor thin. "Not for staff or guests from community programs." The laughter that followed wasn't loud, but it was deliberate. Maya stayed still, eyes steady. "I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be." Vivian lifted a glass of red wine and took a slow sip. "Sweetheart, this dinner costs more than your car." Her friends snickered. "Why don't you step aside before you embarrass yourself?" Maya's tone didn't change. "If you'd check the system again," Vivian waved dismissively. "No need. I know every investor here." "You're not one of them." The crowd began to circle, sensing blood. Vivian turned toward the audience and said, "It's important to keep standards. Once you let anyone in, the place loses its value." Then she smiled, stepped closer, and tipped her glass. The wine splashed down Maya's blazer, crimson spreading across the fabric. Gasps, laughter, phones came up like weapons. "Now you look like you belong," Vivian said softly. For a moment, the world held its breath. Maya didn't flinch, didn't wipe the stain. She just looked at Vivian, one calm, unreadable glance, then reached for her phone. "Marcus," she said quietly. "Activate Clause 12.4, effective immediately." No one understood what that meant. "Not yet." She slipped the phone back into her bag and waited. 90 seconds later, murmurs rippled through the crowd. One by one, screens lit up, laptops, phones, tablets. A notification flashed across every device connected to Langford Holdings' system. Capital withdrawal notice, 2.9 billion. The laughter died. Vivian blinked, her confidence draining. "What is that?" she demanded. From the far end of the ballroom, her father appeared, face pale, phone pressed to his ear. "Who authorized this?" he shouted. "Who pulled the funds?" When his eyes found Maya, his voice faltered. "Dr. Ellison?" She gave a small nod. "Good evening, Mr. Langford." He stopped cold. "What are you doing here?" "Attending a shareholder event," she replied evenly. After all, Langford Holdings and Ellison Capital are partners. Or at least they were. The room froze. Vivian turned slowly toward her father. "Dad, what is she talking about?" Charles Langford didn't answer. His hands were trembling. "Vivian," he whispered, "she's one of our largest investors." The words landed like a thunderclap. "No," Vivian stammered. That can't be. She came in with a tote bag." "Because I came to work," Maya said quietly. "Not to parade." Her phone buzzed again. She answered, listened for a moment, then nodded. "Understood." Vivian's own phone pinged seconds later. She glanced down. Her jaw slackened. "Dad," she breathed, "our stock, it's dropping." The ballroom erupted. Executives scrambled, investors panicked, voices overlapped in chaos. The quartet stopped playing mid-note. Maya raised her hand slightly. Her voice, calm and composed, cut through the storm. "You asked who I was, Ms. Langford. I'm the woman who saved your father's company 2 years ago when no one else would touch it. That rescue required a safeguard. Clause 12.4. Full withdrawal of capital in the event of discrimination against an equity partner or representative. Vivian's face went blank. You can't be serious. I'm not joking, Maya replied. I'm enforcing a contract. Charles stepped forward, voice breaking. Dr. Ellison, please, we can fix this. This isn't broken, Maya said, her gaze steady. It's exposed. The ballroom fell silent again, hundreds of people now realizing they were witnessing a corporate execution conducted with absolute precision. Maya's business partner, Marcus Reed, entered through the main doors, moving like a shadow made of discipline. It's done, he said quietly beside her. Then, turning to the crowd, he took a small microphone from his pocket and clipped it to his lapel. Good evening, Marcus announced. My name is Marcus Reed, Chief Operating Officer of Ellison Capital. Tonight, Dr. Maya Ellison was denied entry to an event her capital funded, publicly humiliated and assaulted with alcohol by a member of this company's leadership family. As of 20 minutes ago, Ellison Capital has formally withdrawn its $2.9 billion partnership investment from Langford Holdings, effective immediately. The reaction was chaos. Gasps, phones raised. Reporters sprinted toward the exit to break the story. Marcus continued unshaken. That capital will be reallocated to the Amani Fund, a new $500 million initiative supporting women of color founders across North America. Applications open Monday. This time, the applause came not from the investors, but from the caterers, servers, and staff who had been watching silently from the walls. Their clapping echoed like judgment. Vivian stared, trembling. You ruined us. No, Maya said softly. You did that when you confused privilege with power. Her voice carried through the hall like the calm before a storm. Respect isn't charity. It's the minimum cost of partnership. Charles Langford's face crumpled. Please, Dr. Ellison, don't do this. I already have, she said. Then turning to the room, let this be your reminder. You can't gatekeep capital that doesn't belong to you. The chandeliers flickered as screens across the ballroom went black, the Langford Holdings logo dissolving into nothing. Maya walked toward the exit. The crowd parted automatically. As she passed Vivian, still clutching her empty wine glass, she stopped just long enough to whisper, next time you pour something, make sure it's respect. Then she left, calm, spotless in spirit if not in fabric, while the empire that mocked her burned quietly behind her.